And before you actually started writing your book, how would you say you went about validating the idea that people would actually want a full-on book on this subject?
Yeah, sure. I mean, great question. I would say two things. Like the first book, The Art of Nonconformity, I don't know that I necessarily did like go out and validate the idea. Like for me, it was my dream. It was like, I want to write a book. So, you know, do I know that there's a demand for that or not? Well, I don't know. I've never written a book before, right? So I think it's okay to like follow your dream if it's not like, you know, perfectly validated or whatever. But I would say like, you know, from then on, like I have the blog, I have the book, the community is coming together. You know, from then on, I'm using kind of the power of observation and just listening, you know, listening to stories, listening to trying to identify what the felt needs are. And for the $100 startup in particular, kind of what I identified, and I certainly wasn't the only one to identify it, but I did kind of notice that there were all these people who had these stories of becoming accidental entrepreneurs, who didn't go to business school, who didn't go down this traditional, you know, path of being an entrepreneur or business owner, and nobody was really telling their stories because all of the entrepreneurship, you know, material, education, resources was very much focused on a different kind of model, on the Silicon Valley startup, angel investor kind of thing, which is great for lots of people. But I guess I felt like this is an unidentified, or at least an untargeted or untapped market. So for me, it was like hearing these stories from different people and then digging deeper and kind of following up and saying, okay, well, are these people everywhere? Yes, they are. Is there another large group of people who wants to be like this group of people, right? Which is critical. Yes, of course. So how can we facilitate that? And I'm not a journalist, so I don't want to just describe a phenomenon. I want to actually like look at the phenomenon and say, okay, how can we replicate that? Like, how can we learn and adapt and apply that to our own way? So that was kind of like the early process.